my dirty rags turned into a beautiful gown made of blue silk. And on my feet, the most precious glass slippers in the world. Respected judges, teachers, guardians, fellow contestants, and everyone here today, a very good morning to you all. My name is Sophia Raku. I study in level E6A from Turjangwa campus. And today, I am so excited to be here and tell you all a story called Cinderella. The story begins. Hello everyone, my name is Ella. You probably know me by the name my stepsisters gave me, Cinderella. I used to be very happy. My mother always told me to have courage and be kind. But when she was gone, my father brought home a new wife and her 2 daughters. That is when everything changed. They made me the maid in my own house. I had to wake up before the sun and work until late at night. Cinderella, clean the floor. Cinderella, wash the dishes. Cinderella, cook the dinner. That is all I heard all day long. But I didn't let it break my heart. I kept dreaming. One day, a messenger arrived with a special letter. It was an invitation to the royal ball. The prince was looking for a bride, and every maiden in the kingdom was invited. I was so excited. I ran to my stepmother and asked, "Mother, may I please go to the ball?" She looked at me and laughed. She said, "You go to the ball? But you have nothing to wear." I didn't give up. I found an old dress that belonged to my mother and fixed it up. I thought it looked beautiful. But when I came downstairs, my stepsisters were so jealous. They screamed, "That's my ribbon! That's my sash!" They tore my dress into pieces. Then they climbed into their carriage and left me crying in the dark. I felt so alone. I looked up at the sky and whispered, "I just wish I could go." Suddenly, the room filled with sparkles. A kind old woman appeared. She was my fairy godmother. She smiled and said, "Dry your tears, child. You are going to the ball. Now, fetch me a pumpkin." She waved her wand. Beep-a-dee, bobby-boo! It was amazing! She turned the pumpkin into a golden carriage. She turned the little mice into white horses. Then she looked at me. She waved her wand again, and my dirty rags turned into a beautiful gown made of blue silk. And on my feet, the most precious glass slippers in the world. She gave me one warning. The magic only lasts until midnight. When the clock strikes 12, you must leave. I arrived at the palace. It was huge. When I walked into the ballroom, everyone stopped talking. The prince saw me and walked right over. He didn't ask about my money or my family. He just asked me to dance. We danced and talked for a while. For the first time in a long time, I felt happy. I felt just like me. But then, bang, the clock began to strike 12. I was terrified. I had to go. I cried as I ran out of the ballroom and down the palace stairs. I was running so fast that I tripped, and one of my glass slippers fell off, but I couldn't stop to get it. By the time I got home, the carriage was a pumpkin again. My beautiful dress was gone, and I was just Cinderella in the kitchen. But I smiled because I had the best memory. The next day, the grand duke arrived at our house. He was holding the glass slipper. He said the prince would marry the girl whose foot fit the shoe. My stepsisters tried everything. They pushed, shoved, trying to squeeze their big foot into the tiny slipper. But it was no use. Then the duke looked at me. My stepmother screamed, "No, don't let her try. She's just a maid." But Duke ignored her. I sat down and slid my foot forward. It slipped into the shoe easily. It was a perfect fit. My stepmother gasped. My sisters fainted. I stood up and looked at them. I could just have been angry, but I remembered my mother's words, so I just looked at them and said, I forgive you. Because a real princess isn't just beautiful on the outside. She is kind on the inside. The prince found me and we lived happily ever after. The end. The moral of the story is kindness and patience are rewarded in the end, regardless of current hardship.